majority of this game, because I've been thinking that this hero got buffed a lot recently, and people are not really touching it still. So I want to see what one of the best players, what he can actually accomplish with it in this type of game.
Already out with the first smoke, mind control, heads over, gets the deep ward. Will be able to get himself just out of range by the looks of it before Moon comes in and dispels the smoke. Ah, okay, was already, yeah, they did have the ward there, but I guess, yeah, he was smoked in beforehand, so they didn't quite spot him. So both teams should be able to continue to maintain ward control of those two areas to start the game off. Mid lane, Planet Odd already dropping one down as well, and we'll be down on the bottom, the Liquid Op, to get a nice and deep one towards the small pool. We'll see what kind of lanes we have coming out from the sides, if we're going to see any sort of aggressive plays. I mean, at the moment, obviously sending mind control down to the bottom lane on that Elder Titan. Do you imagine he will be left alone, or will we see some sort of a dual lane come out from the side of Liquid early on?
I think Liquid's going to most likely start the tri-lane top and then make moves away. Once Veno gets like 1 or 2 levels, he can do pretty decent versus the Batrider if the Batrider doesn't get help. Then I think they're going to be... I think Kuro will probably stay static in this top lane, pulling it, getting his levels since he's a Shadow Shaman, when we'll see GH just running around between all the lanes. I think it's going to be him making moves wherever he deems necessary, maybe to bottom, maybe to mid. But definitely starting in that tri-lane top to make sure that Moon Meander can get a good start as Batrider.
And of course, then this mid lane matchup, we are the puck up against Miracle's OD. I mean, how do we expect this one to go down? Are we going to see, is there one of these heroes that requires backup constantly there? I mean, we're starting off with some extra bit of a presence in the mid lane for Weeha, and also Slardar in the neighborhood for Miracle.
It's a pretty even matchup. There's no mid ward. Weeha has a bit of more of a base damage thing, but that's where it comes in. The OD can use Astral to not only last hit, but also to deny last hits from the puck. So maybe it's slightly puck favored. Very, very slight, because, oh, he actually does have a mid ward, apologies. It was hidden inside of the flag.
Yeah, it's actually just going in for the one touch for some early harassment. Top lane, Kuroki moves in with Shackles. Him and Matumba to bring Moon down fairly low, but Moon will survive.
So they're just doing the dual lane at the top to start, and he is emphasizing on making sure that Mind Control can actually get stuff bottom, GH starting bottom, and also wanting to pressure the AM a bit. And when he does do that dual lane bottom, he forces the supports to move down there as well. So it doesn't allow Misery as much freedom on the map to run around.
Yeah, rather hard in terms of kill potential here for Odd, considering the 2 stuns as such, as you're going to have from Liquid. You know, Mind Control and the Elder Titan, very good with the Stomp once he hits that level 2 to offer that disengage potential. Considering that Odd have, well, Shaker and Antimaze, these 2 melee heroes that very much need to be on the front lines to get the damage through.
I hope we get to see Mind Control do the, I mean, I think it was the Monet build, I believe it was from LFY. He was going for the, no, it wasn't Monet, it was, I can't recall exactly which one it was, but he went for the Treads double bracer into the Atos build. And it was versus an anti-mage, and he was just beating the crap out of him. I believe that one was an epicenter. It was very impressive. Mind Control actually gets Fissure blocked right now. Misery and Soxa going to work on him.
They are going to have GH coming across, and that is going to cause Odd to split up a little bit. They'll still look to try and continue to harass down Mind Control, but now Misery has to be a bit careful himself. GH closes that gap. Shaker could be in trouble. Looks like GH does have not quite enough speed to catch up. Shaker to back off.
Weeha's owning this mid lane right now. 12-4 to 6-2. That mid ward being able to get that extra harassment and always using the orb and the auto tech to get the last hit on the range creep. Really working well for Wee right now.
Brilliant starting team for him at the moment. On the top,
he's playing the lane so well.
Yeah, we're seeing Moon back away, just looking to clean up the side camps towards that's north jungle for the side of Planet Odd. Just respecting the potential that this horrible, very horrible lane of a Veno Shadow Shaman can offer. He has to be careful if he goes back into it.
GH parked around mid lane, maybe hoping Wee uses another. Wee's been using the orbs very liberally, just non-stop using them to farm. So they can actually set up on him a bit, put some pressure. Here we go, comes in.
Yeah, they're going to catch him without the orb. Weeha could be in a lot of trouble here. Pop the silence out, trying to play away for GH. Look to try and juke out the stone with the phase shift. He's not going to make it.
Orb in one.
Ooh, with that Fissure. Okay, that saved him. That has certainly saved him. Their Misery coming in just in time with a Fissure to make sure Weeha could get out. Very nicely done.
At least GH comes in though and helps Miracle a bit in that mid lane, because Miracle's CS is starting to fall a little bit behind. How's Moon doing? Moon's doing pretty well, level 3. Is he even stacking at all as well for himself? He has not been. He just started clearing his Satyr camp. But He usually resorts to the jungle a bit, especially since he's versus a Venomancer. Veno is pretty hard to play against as a Bat Rider, not only in the laning phase, but also later on, once those Venom wards are just non-stop canceling your blink.
GH wrapping around here towards Saxa. Trading a bit of harass. Misery is there though, so Liquid have to be careful how aggressive they do get. Good Fisher block could allow them the potential to turn around. And it looks like at the moment, yeah, Mind Control's presence hasn't really done much in terms of slowing down Resolution's farm. Still pretty much perfect CS on the anti-mage. Same certainly can be said, of course, for Matuma Man, as you mentioned, with the space that he's been getting, because Moon has been leaving the lane. And yeah, the mid lane starting to equal up again in CS, so all in all, things fairly even around the map. GH very low at the moment. Mind Control does come across, looking for a bit of action onto Saxa. Misery's there with potential backup though, if Saxa requires it.
Saxa's got no boots. Mind Control has boots, chasing him down. He's got Stick and a Spirit soon.
They do have the Fisher though. They're looking to try and bait Mind Control in as deep as they can. He'll throw out the Spirit, but there's the backup. Resolution turning up for the fight. They want to try and get some kills out of this. Mind Control trying to finish off Saxa, but Misery's in with the Fisher blocks, trying to set this up for Rezo, and indeed Mind Control's going to get taken down. They may even get another here. The Enchant Totem comes in onto GH. Jump forward from Rezo. Couple of hits will do it. Can he quite close this? He's going to have Blink again in 6 seconds. Could certainly try and go for it. There's not enough mana for a stun. Looks like he's just going to look to focus on the farm, not get drawn away from it. But nonetheless, it is Planet Odd getting a kill, getting Rezo involved. Liquid being punished there for... I mean, they did dive fairly deep there, the two of them.
Getting the first blood's really nice, and it's at 5 minutes too, so those two supports who were low are just like, oh, cool. You just go to the shrine, and now we can continue our rotations. And this is where Rezo's feeling pretty powerful. Since they weren't able to really pressure his farm, as you were mentioning before, he's going to be left alone for a moment. How's Kuroki's levels doing? Level 3, chain pulling, 9 CS as a support roster, just doing what you need to do. You need to get your levels up on this hero so you can get that early level 6. Cool, they have the Veno in the roster too, so they have the double ward kind of thing to be able to siege and to push out lanes.
Yeah, very good push in that matter. And, well, in the river, Saxa.
GH in trouble.
Yeah, it does get jumped up, but it's going to be immediate turnaround potential from Odd. They're bringing GH down low. Miracle comes across. We'll be able to pick up a haste rune.
How convenient. Could
play around with this a little bit. Looks like at the moment he's just going to hold on to it. Odd, realizing they can't commit to do anything about that with that rune in the bot. As Liquid able to keep GH alive. Top lane, maybe a bit of a dive coming through here. GH coming in deep, looking for the crush onto Saxa. But Saxa's got friends, and he's got a lot of them. Moon, Weeha, and Misery there, looking to lock down for more. Kuroki being chased down as the napalm starts to stack up. And Kuroki indeed looks to have come in a little bit too deep. But Tummerman tries to turn with the Gale, but the Dream Coils drop down. Misery takes the poison over to the face, but still gets the spells out. And oh, a neat little deny there from Weeha means the Liquid don't even get a single kill out of this.
Oh my God.
And Weeha gets the double. Turning up for the grand finals here, Weeha.
Weeha is just playing incredibly well. He's doing super well in the laning phase. His rotations are crisp, and then getting that deny, just, damn. After that last game, very impressive.
3-0, as we're 7 minutes into the game.
Heavy committed rotations coming out from Planet Odd. How are the levels coming out? So level 3 is on the 2 supports for Planet Odd, and level 4 and 3 on Liquid, Shadow Shaman being 4.
They really want to do something bottom. They brought Kuro in, along with GH. They're looking for some sort of lockdown onto Rezo. Rezo quick with the blink into the tree line. Misery going forward. He'll almost certainly be the one to pay for this, though, as Kuro lands down the shackle, holds the Shaker in place, and they will get him. Odd, they're looking for the reactive play, though. Moon moving in with the Firefly. Will be held back there by the Stomp from Mind Control. TP in from Miracle. Pops the haste rune. He's ready to play. Has the Astral set up onto 1. Rezo hanging around, seeing if he can get back and involved in on this. They are falling low. He drops the mana fight, but Kuroki was missing pretty much no mana at all, so no damage is done. Kuro's going to be fine. Moon's in a lot of trouble here, hiding in the tree line, tries to knock them back with the Flame Break, but with the Firefly already used, Miracle does have a lot of stacks on him, and he's going to take quite a bit of damage in return. There's the Astral. That should be enough to pop him. Miracle playing on the edge of his life there as those stacks built up, but it does pay off for Liquid. They punish Moon's dive. Odd unable to find any kills on that bottom lane. Mid lane, though, could be something. GH, indeed, caught out. Tries to throw down the crush, but the nuke from the Illusory Orb is too much as Weeha picks up another kill and continues to proceed down this mid lane, hammering into this tier 1.
Well, good. We're having each team run at each other. This is what we wanted. Miracle with that haste rune bottom. Very successful for his rotation. This is another good thing that's when you pick the OD, not only did they pick it versus the Wyvern, to have the pure damage versus the cold embrace and everything. But it's also the Essence Aura versus Anti-Mage. If you're around your OD and your team fighting, and AM tries to come in and maybe go for a mana void like that, if you throw constant spells, you're bound to be able to get your mana back at one point from that restoration.
Regeneration. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All 4 cores at the moment. The 2 mids and the 2 safe laners getting the farm that they want. We are at the top, Miracle at the bottom, but it's very, very close.
Super evenly matched.
No one massively falling behind. Top lane, though, Matuma's going to be looked towards. Moon moving in with the Firefly. Misery's there with the wraparound as well on the Shaker. Matuma, man, I don't know if there's any sort of escape from here. Will drop out the Poison Over, connecting onto 3, but they've got the lockdown. Take down the Veno. Misery immediately with the TP out. It looks like they should get all of them out of there. As Planet Odd get themselves back to base. No kill will be found in return. GH just holding Weehaw back there with the crush. But again, it's these movements that are being made by Planet Odd that just seem to be a step ahead of Liquid so far in these laning stages.
Yeah, Odd's just a small margin ahead, being able to gank that safe laner twice now, successfully. Not having a defensive ward anymore, so they were able to go for that type of kill. It actually was de-warded. They had one placed for the Venomancer earlier, but yeah, it was taken out quite a few minutes ago. So Matu is getting a bit susceptible to that. And that's when we usually see the move happen where your safe lane keeps getting invaded as like a Venomancer, make your way toward bottom, take that tower. And that's what we see Matuma start doing now. As soon as Rezo sees it, gets the hell out of there, goes top, that kind of mirror movement that we see happen very often.
Yeah, Kuro very close to having that level 6 on the Shaman as well. So they will have that extra sieging potential if they wish to commit.
Yeah, he's trying to farm up some of that big camp.
Saxa's got to be careful about revealing himself here. He's hiding himself in the tree line, but GH is coming a-hunting. Does have a DD rune as well on the Slardar. Saxa, with the flying movement, gets himself nice and deep away from Liquid. Continues to hype it. In fact, with the ward drop there from Matumba, they'll hunt down the Wyvern in the tree line, and Saxa...
Oh, but the tree, they can't
get in! Oh, they can't quite get themselves in close enough to cancel the TP, and Saxa, he'll keep his life intact.
Nice. Buys a little bit of time on that tower. Mid lane, Miracle.
Moon popping the drums and enables him to close the gap, get the lasso, drags back Miracle. They make it a second out of this as well. They drop down the coil onto GH. GH, he's trapped up, tries to escape, but the snap's going to be there. And Planet Odd get a double. The drums from Moon. That straight up pickup paying off there, allowing him to quickly close that gap and no chance for Liquid to react in time.
Something we didn't touch on during like the whole draft and everything, the Batrider matchup versus the OD. Bat was grabbed very early, but OD was grabbed later. But that turn rate, OD suffers from having one of the worst turn rates versus Sticky Napalm, and he's definitely suffering versus it heavily. Good rotations coming out from Planet Odd. Rezo still parked up in that top lane, trying to avoid that Venomancer. Matu almost with Veil finished up.
Very close, but definitely, well, we see both him and Weehaw, the ones at the top.
Mind control top, again, the rotation from Planet Odd, from both Moon and Misery.
He's going to find it. Misery nearly gets the courier, doesn't quite have the damage for it. Well, they'll settle for the kill at least. They'll continue to chase down Mind Control. No sort of backup coming in for Liquid as they realize this Elder Titan is as good as gone. As Mind Control will fall. Pings out onto GH. Looks like they're aware that he is in the neighborhood. Kuro's there as well with the smoke. Gets a deep ward down.
Looking to claim that next tier 1. But it's going for a trade. Planet Odd is able to pressure that top tower. They're going to be able to get it. Kuroki about 25 more seconds on those wards. That's probably when we'll see them go for another tower push. Because other than that, they don't really have the greatest siege. Sure, they have Vano wards, but yeah, it's majority of the Shadow Shaman since OD does not hit buildings either.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if we see them go for any sort of early Roche attempts. I mean, with the wards, with the corrosive haze from Slardar, it's certainly an option. I guess it's a hard team to fight into the pit, though, without getting a pick off. You've got to be aware of the Echo Slams, exactly. Winter's Curse. There's pretty phenomenal team fight on the side of Planet Odd.
If they can get pick-offs, though, that could definitely be one of the options. Saxa gets stomped up bottom.
There will be TPs coming in. They've got the Shackle. Can they kill Saxa in time? No, with the Fisher coming out, and now the Winter's Curse. Saxa, he's going to survive for the time being. Turns around with the nuke, and he brings Liquid down low. Kuro pops the stick charges, starts to back off. Saxa will be able to TP back to safety. So Liquid don't get the kill. They do keep themselves alive. But again, nice reaction from Misery, getting involved and keeping his team safe. Miracle, though, turns up to the fight, has another haste rune in the bottle and pops it. Ready to start a poke and prod around with the puck. Goes in with the Astral, bringing him down low, but now the turnaround. Silence is there along with the Dream Car, holding Miracle in place. Phase shift from Weehaw, trying to juke out the stomp, but he still connects. And with the Sanity's Eclipse, Weehaw, he's going to be as good as gone. Miracle gets the kill, starting to rack up the stolen intelligence.
Radiant structures.
Beautiful play by Miracle there with that haste rune, zoning them off the tower so they can get it down too. GH top, again getting picked off. GH is having a rough one.
Instantly realizing with Liquid's presence down bottom, they can go for that sort of play, Planet Odd. But Liquid, they are going to get more out of sitting down on this bottom. They get the tier 2 with the Serpent Ward's commitment.
That was a nice like sequence of events though, because Kuroki almost died bottom to that Winter's Curse, ends up surviving barely, and then with Miracle's rotation with that haste rune, they're actually able to have all that happen. So all those small things adding up for them for sure. How's my control been? He's just Tranquil Boot Soul Ring. Anything else coming out quite yet? No, not just yet.
I'll tell you one thing I feel like we're seeing as well. I've not really seen this too much, but we don't see a lot of Elder Titan. The actual stomp animation is quite different, isn't it? You know, normally how you see this, they've got these kind of things around it.
What is that green and blue? That's the, that must be the set, right?
It's the set. I mean, it looks quite confusing. I wonder if some of the players are kind of caught out by the timing. I guess you still have the spirit in the middle revving back up, but if you only see the side of it, it's like, what's going on?
Yo, I didn't even notice that somehow. Look, that actually looks awesome.
I mean, it looks pretty damn awesome.
That looks really. That's one of the coolest ones actually I've seen yet. I didn't even notice that. I was just focusing on the normal uplift song. It's a good call. Bottom lane Saksa. Matu throws the Gale. Instant TP out. Nice aggressive wards came out from Planet On. You know, you mentioned the one that Kuroki placed in mid. Got one also bottom too. So they see those rotations that do come in whenever they want to go for that next siege on that mid lane when they have the roster wards available. But they also do have the corrosive hit, so there is a possibility that they may want to fight. I don't think they do though, because Miracle went for Midas. But they do have the chance where they can go for a fight and then they can go for the Roche. And that's probably their best bet. I don't think they want to just stroll themselves in there versus a Bat Rider and versus Earthshaker. Moon also just completes the Blink Dagger, so they just got a good timing window here. And I believe Weehaw also finished his just beforehand too.
Back focusing towards the mid lane, but Timmerman with a bit of a wraparound here. As he's looking to cut in from the side, starting to drop the wards down by the tier 1. He's relatively deep though. We'll throw the Gale down onto Saksa. The rest of Liquid move in, but a quick Winter's Curse from the Wyvern holds back the side. Jump forward from Weehaw, hits the 2-man silence and the Dream Coil, nuking GH down fairly low. Misery looking for the walking Echo Slam, and he'll get it onto 2. GH is down. Up on the high ground, Miracle finding Weehaw. Weehaw's mana falling low as the intelligence starts to get stolen, but there's the jump just in time from Moon. Has the lasso, holds back Miracle. Weehaw, phase shift jukes out the Gale. Can he get himself out? He can't. The kill will still be successful as Matuma Man ends up ticking him down.
Oh, the Force Staff just got delivered.
And Moon, he does end up getting Matumba. Is he going to tick down to this? It looks like he should. All the poison in the world on him, and he will drop. So Matumba Man loses his life, but does claim the double.
Oh, gets a nice gold too for killing Moon for that Mega Streak. 605. That was, yeah, very good timing though for Miracle to get that Force Staff. And they didn't have to commit Shadow Shaman wards or anything for that, so they still have those for the next tower siege top lane. Rezo putting pressure on GH. Battle Fury is finished up on the way toward the Yasha, so his timing is quite nice.
Yeah, very good indeed. Bottom lane. Saksa again. Very good at avoiding death, this Wyvern. As you said, coming into this, one of his classic heroes, and he's very good at playing hard to get.
Yeah.
Moving into the trees, knowing where his opponents aren't going to spot him out.
Him and Seneko are the two really standout Wyverns for me that I've seen in the past.
And as we're seeing, not afraid as well to just drop the Winter's Curse when he sees a chance to save himself and set up for his team to have the time to TP over and get themselves involved.
A lot about the setup, yeah, for sure. In this game in particular. At first, it might have been and during the draft, they probably wanted it because they saw the Slaughter, so they were like, okay, we have that to kind of turn it if there's anyone. You think they're going to be building physical because they built the Slaughter, but yeah, later on it's good for the setup for the Earthshaker and for the Puck to get those spells off. A nice defensive ward coming out from Liquid. They put it in their jungle so they can watch whenever Resolution is going to farm in there. That's pretty much the only times you want to have those wards. You want to be placing wards on the enemy side of the map unless you're playing for something like an anti-mage who just jumps into your jungle and farms it really fast. So you keep eyes on him. Moon set up for top.
And no backup at the moment. It is just Moon on his own. So unlikely to jump in as of yet. Does have Saksa back in the neighborhood. Winter's Curse available once again. Now Moon a little more comfortable in trying to get himself in. Jumps forward, grabs Matuma Man. Have they got the follow-up? Doesn't look like they have straight up. Weehaw coming forward as well. The tower will be taken down. They'll drop the Dream Coil, looking to try and bring Matumba down. A fair few stacks up on him as there's the jump back in from Moon. Secures the kill. Matumba will get the poison over off, so Moon having to back off out of this one. Spirit will chase him down. The Moon should be fine here.
But Weeha did get the deny, so very well played. Space made for resolution. Continuing that farm up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Shadow Shaman Ward's still available for Kuroki when he decides he wants to expend them. Or when he gets an opportunity to actually use them.
It really feels like we're waiting for the Blink Daggers on Liquid. What are we seeing in terms of the state of the Slardar's Blink?
It's about 1,000 away.
Still a bit of time for GH
Yeah.
to get us.
Been struggling a bit.
They need that catched. They need some way that they can get in and quickly get a kill. As we're seeing each and every time, they're coming forward, and there's always the chance for Saxa to turn, or Weeha to drop down these big AoE teamfight ults, and make it very hard for Odd to continue to chase.
That is what they have, though. Planet Odd has these very heavy
Yeah.
teamfight ultimates to be able to protect and fight S4 and then let the AM do their own thing. That's pretty much what's been happening the entire time. And my control's been quietly farming in the back, almost finishing up the Yule Scepter to have that extra kind of setup. Will be pretty lovely. But he's not really like this big frontliner. So that's the one thing that they are kind of lacking in this game. It's just the Venomancer who can act as that. And Matu's, he died 4 times because that's the role that he has to play. He has to play super upfront because they don't have another hero to do so.
Planet Odd, 3 up towards the top. Rezo being backed up by Moon and Saxa, hanging around in the sidelines.
We were mentioning GH's Blink Dagger about 600 away, but we take a look at Misery, and he's 300 gold until he's got it. So that's going to be very good for them to have another form of initiation. Now they're going to have like 3 different ways to initiate and a 4th counter initiation with the Wyvern.
Yeah, both. Yeah, Misery and GH, the playmakers that each team's relying on. Moon finding a potential freebie, starts to drag back the Shaman. On the back lines, though, Saxa will be caught out by a Poison Over and a Crush from GH. They'll lose the Wyvern, they'll keep the Shaman's life alive.
Good defensive force staff by Miracle, pushing down Kuroki.
And there is that pickup. Link Dagger complete for Misery. We'll see if he can do anything big with the reveal. Heading towards the middle lane, a little low on the mana front at the moment.
Oh, Weeha gets hit by an illusion.
See what they can do to recover him. They've got the Spirit upon him.
Radiant's
We'll still phase shift, looking for the timing with the stomp. Won't quite get it. We are having to jump away with the orb. Moon thinking about reinitiating, jumps forward, but then instantly there's the Hex from Kuro. Dropping the wards as well. Fish is there to cancel the shackle. Nicely done from Misery, but there's the Splitter and the Sanities clipping the Batrider. They'll find the Moon kill. Can they get anything more out of this one? Odd still have a fair few big teamfight ults to throw back in on them if they see the chance. We are ticking down low though, has to back up and regen. Liquid getting the space around this tier 1. With the ward still out, should be able to take this.
They gotta stall. They don't want to fight this, they just need to stall. Keep stalling and stalling for Rezo. Rezo's sitting at 13,000 net worth. Manta finished up with the Battle Fury and level 18. Getting ready to be able to fight soon. He's got like the Bastion finished up if that's the option that Rezo would like to go for. Then he can actually start being involved. Still, it's been majority of the time 4 versus 5 coming out from Planet Odd. They've been doing a pretty damn good job of keeping their lead up.
GH pretty much with the blink complete now. 100 gold and he'll have it.
Now they'll actually have a real way to initiate and start the fights rather than Kuroki walking up and hoping to get a shackle or like a stomp, a lucky stomp from Mind Control. This will be really good for them to actually have. Slardo with Blink Dagger will be able to set up for Mind Control to get some very good Earth Splitters.
Yeah, a lot of good setup and save now. The Yule's complete on the Elder Titan. Hurricane Pike done on Miracle's OD. There's the jumping. Kuro comes in with the TP, and straight away, Odd just absolutely rip apart this Shaman. Coming in, taking the kill, getting a bit of damage down onto the tier 2. See what Liquid can do to hold. There's the first stomp from Mind Control. Slowing down the wave. We are still on the sidelines. Could jump in. There is a BKB complete on Matumba, so makes him quite a tricky target to go for. And indeed, Odd not looking to commit behind the tier 2 for now. Will be spotted out there with the Spirit movement from Mind Control. As Weeha's in the tree line, forces Resolution back there with the threat of the stomp.
Both teams have good ways to defend their towers in that. The Puck Orb, the Firefly, the Wyvern Nuke, and then on the Liquid side, it's the Elder Titan Spirit with the Veno wards. Very obnoxious to push into.
Interesting from Rezo as well. The Battle Fury Manta, and straight up next item being the Assault Cuirass.
Okay, deal with the Elder Titan Aura, so you don't have to worry about being put down to 0. Used to be a good way to deal with it. It is only the magic one that, the magic amplification is from the Spirit, so that's only if the Elder Titan is standing on top of you to apply that minus physical.
Also nice, I guess, against the Corrosive Haze from the Slardar.
Yeah.
making sure that if he does get caught out by the blink on GH, he still has a bit of a chance to survive through that physical damage.
Helps him a lot also for like the split push and the sieging, because they are, they don't really have the greatest siege up. He's been playing as like this full-out split pusher, so that'll help him actually pressure towers and even objectives like Roche. But speaking of Roche, it's Liquid. They've got the Rost Awards, they've got the Slaughter ulti. They're committing for it heavily.
We are seeing Planet Odd start to make their way towards the pit, though. They've got the big ultimates. Liquid have to be careful. Roshan down to half health. Planet Odd more than happy to fight around here. The wards continue to bring it down. Who's going to make the first jump, though? That's the question. Roshan down to less than half. Weehar with the immediate jump in. Nukes with a man down low. There'll be the stomp on the high ground, holding back the Batrider. Now Liquid ready to chase forward. Miracle gets the first Astral out, holding Saxa in position. Has the Glimmer Cape. No detection, of course, on the OD, so Saxa will be fine. GH trying to jump up to catch out Weehar, but quick fingers with the phase shift.
Rezo just continues pushing top during all of this. Takes a tier 2, now continuing on to the tier 3.
Space created indeed
Liquid
here for this anti-mage. Liquid have to do something about this pressure, and already they're having to back away from Roshan. They're unable to complete it. And Planet Odd, again, they just have that extra potential in what they can get done across the map. They can fight as four, they can have Resolution out doing whatever he wants to, and it's very hard for Liquid to deal with.
Yeah, hard ways to actually catch the anti-mage unless they really commit majority of their lineup to do it. They need the Shadow Shaman and the Slaughter, or the other 10. They need some combination of the two disablers.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, nonetheless, though, Planet Odd themselves, even though they can force Liquid away from the pit, unlikely to decide to themselves then go back in and finish off Roche.
Both teams very hesitant.
Yeah.
Liquid, they got Eyes of Resolution with that
kill.
ward.
This smoke could be perfect if they get the chance to hex, but oh, not quite. GH tries to come in with a blink. But Rezo, very quick with his own blink out, and he'll be able to create more than enough space to keep himself back in safety.
Kuroki just a split second from getting that hex off. Same thing with GH with the crush. That would have definitely been a dead Resolution, but Rezo with those quick reactions. Split push continues from both Weeha and Rezo. Earthshaker and Winter Wyvern also just fissure the lane, throw the Splinter Blast, wave's dead. Very quick ways to shove lanes in for Resolution to continue his split push.
Rezo just about 300 gold, and the Assault Cuirass will be complete. Continuing to farm at a very, very commendable rate. 16,000 net worth, 26 minutes in. And bottom lane, GH actually getting the initial crush here onto Weehar. Does have the orb and the phase shift to get himself away, and with the blink, pretty much impossible for them to chase down. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there's going to be the jump in from Moon, gets the catch onto Kuroki. Shaman out. With one down, they're thinking about going into Roche.
That was Echo committed for that one, but it's a kill's a kill. 20 seconds, no Shadow Shaman, the big form of disable.
And if they get the Roshan, absolutely worth. Liquid, though, they look like they do want to try and stop this.
Splitter's coming in.
That's a big stomp and Splitter as well. It's going to clip both of them. Oh, Misery, actually, no, he got the blink out in time.
They both get the blink out, too.
Very close to finding the connection, but the timing wasn't quite there for Mind Control.
But they do stop the Roche again.
I'll see if they can catch out Weehar. He's going with the next level plays. Orbs forward and blinks back. Very sweet. They were waiting for him. They were waiting for Weehar post-orb, but he out-mind games them there.
Lincoln's going to be the next choice for Miracle to avoid that lasso and curse. I mean, pretty needed in this game. Bit of the pace slowed down. Just been some constant spells being thrown at each other near the Roche pit. Both teams just very aware of that area. But Tumbleman Man actually doubles back for a Shadow Blade to go for that split up as well. Trying to get in the midst of the fray maybe too, since they don't really think that they've been carrying too much of you. I think it's only been Saxa carrying like one sentry.
And as we're seeing, Resolution just building in a way that's going to give him a lot of survivability in these fights. AC straight into the BKB next on the anti-mage.
Oh wow, okay, so he's looking like he wants to get involved in these engagements now. He doesn't want to just full commit to split push anymore. That's a fighting build right there. Can also work for split pushing though, because they only have like one way to actually stop the TP on the BKB, which is the, I guess actually two, the Bash from the Slaughter and the Earth Splitter from the Elder Titan.
Back again around the Roche pit. Moon, he's actually going to jump in on this. There's a lot of backup, though, for GH on the Slardar as Liquid will surround Moon, looking to punish him for this one. The Fisher comes out, but there's the Winter's Curse. Can they keep Moon alive? With the Cold Embrace, they give him a bit of a chance. Water drop down, Moon will finally fall. So they get the back kill. No Bat Rider for 45 seconds.
Stuck. He's stuck.
He's trapped out. Weehar's going to get the chance to jump in and nuke him down. That's going to be mind control gone. Liquid now down to 4 versus 4.
And Rezo continuing that split push top.
Still, the control around the pit's what's important. Matuma Man pops the BKB, trying to move forward, looking for Saxa. But Saxa's already across the tree line. Misery will be the one left behind and taken down as Liquid get themselves a second. But the base is in trouble. Resolution gets the tier 3. And it looks like they were trying to TP back, but I think that was a Yule's cancel there. So the TP won't be there. GH has to make the long walk back. Will throw down it, but oh! The Manta-style juke. Resolution dodges the crush. And off the back of that, he'll clean up the melee racks, jump into the sideline and TP back to safety. Liquid can't catch him and Rezo gets the job done.
And their glyph was 1 second from being up to try to defend that Rax. It literally just came up as it died. Great opportunity seized there by Planet Odd.
Yeah, sweet little plays from Rezo, great plays from the team around in terms of cancelling TPs.
Mind control getting stuck, just every little thing adding up there for Rezo to get that split push. That's a big lead going there for them. They're gonna have a lot of momentum swinging toward that top lane constantly, which gives up. It's gonna not only force the top lane, but then allows Resolution now to play on the bottom side while leaving the Roche exposed. Rezo's doing an excellent job this game of putting that side lane pressure. 2-0 and 3, 400 CS on this anti-mage. Team, I mean, it's him doing the split push, but it's his team making the space for him. They've been doing
absolutely.
The way that they've been fighting with only 4 heroes is very damn impressive. Looks like Matumba in the mid lane might be the culprit. Misery ready to set up.
Yeah, we are actually going for the TP out, trying to help out mid, but the cancel will be there from Miracle. Matuma does get off the poison over. In fact, with the Shadow Blade, he's going to get himself back out to the safety by the looks of it. He can back off. He'll survive for the time being. Kuroki and Miracle continuing to try and play around with Weeha, who'll drop the Dream Coil. Only gets the connection onto the Shaman. And now, with the self-fuels, continuing trying to play out of it, but quick with the Hex. Kuroki gets the catch, but it doesn't matter. Saxa's there with the Glimmer Cape and the Winter's Curse. Holds back the Shaman. Miracle turning against his own captain as Kuro gets beaten down by the OD. Misery jumps forward, cancels the TP there on Mind Control's Elder Titan to secure a second for Planet Odd. And Planet Odd getting the 2 kills, again, playing perfectly as a team, saving one another, and turning it around for some violence that they love. Getting the action, opening up the space to finally themselves go into the Roche pit, and they'll get this with no trouble at all from Liquid.
20,000 net worth anti-mage with an Aegis. That is very troublesome for Liquid. The gold lead now almost hitting 10K mark, and Mind Control has pretty much like stagnated. He's kind of like a glorified support in a way now as this Elder Titan. Unable to really be like a tanky frontline or anything because he went for like the Yules and now he went for the Medallion build. You know what he wanted to be doing in this game, but they've just been able to catch him out over and over again with their blinking initiation and just so many different ways of having that team fight for Planet Odd.
Ready to go down mid now, Planet Odd. With that Aegis in their hands. They'll take the tier 2. Liquid do have the full 5-man back up. And obviously no intention to go aggressive into that anti-mage in his Aegis. Have to respect Resolution. Level 23.
Gonna have Basher soon too, right after that Aegis expires. Maybe something else. Now Saxa has the Blink Dagger finished up on top of the Glimmer, so he's got his own way of initiating too. So now Planet Odd actually has like so many different ways to start or like counter-initiate the fight. It's absurd.
Mass smoke up. Moon, he wants to dive onto the high ground, try and get a grab. See if he goes in for it. Smoked up and poised to jump. There's the stomp coming out from Mind Control as he looks to clear out this wave that's pushing in on the bottom. Resolution comes into show. There's the Fisher clipping onto Miracle, just spamming the wave back in, forcing the pressure up to the high ground. And they'll back off Planet Odd, turn towards the easier objectives, take down the shrines, and look to maintain this map control and keep Liquid just standing on the high ground and feeling very scared about coming out of their base.
Yeah, now they're going to start keeping them suffocated for a while with this Aegis, and that's where Planet Odd's going to surge pretty far ahead, and not only the net worth, but also taking a look at that experience. They're about 10,000 ahead of Liquid too. So those supports being level 15 on both of them, Puck 18 and Bat Rider 15. while on the side of Liquid, you see the 3 level 12s, the Elder Titan, the Shadow Shaman, and the Slardar.
And what is it that Liquid are waiting for? Is there any sort of item that they're close to that could really, really set them up for a stronger team fight? Because as we're seeing at the moment, countlessly, Matuma having to pop Poison over as he dies. He's never really been able to get into that perfect position to kick things off. It's always sort of a last ditch. You know, I'm on my way out, I might as well drop my ult. They just can't find the perfect fight. And in fact, Miracle, he's been caught outside of the base there. Straight up Echo Slam being dropped. Will self Astral himself, but Planet Odds around him. Can Liquid actually get him out? Ooh, good blink. Very good blink indeed, straight out of the Astral. Will keep him safe. And they will save Miracles. They force him back up to the high ground.
I don't know what specifically Liquid actually can be waiting for. I think the Hex is one of the big ones for Miracle that can help a lot, but other than that, the other heroes aren't really getting items that are going to influence the fights too much. And it's really tough because a lot of the all the initiation is up to GH.
Oh, and in fact, there's the jump in. The Winter's Curse down. Onto KuroKy again, the team turning against him. Misery with the follow, jumps in with the Enchant Tone, and that's going to be 2 down, make that 3. Slardar to full, Matuma Man posts the BKB, tries to turn towards Resolution with the help of Miracle. They're bringing the anti-mage down low, but he will survive. Blinks up to the high ground. Manages to keep that Aegis alive for now. He is ticking low with the poison, and in fact, it will be enough to pop him once. But Liquid, they're 3 men down, and only being able to pop the Resolution anti-mage Aegis to show for it. And Odd are ready to go back in on the high ground for the siege. Moon jumps in, he's caught out Matuma Man as well, dragging the Veno back. And with the Mana Void from Rezo, that's going to be Matuma Man down for 60 seconds. He does have buyback available. He may need to use it. He is going to have the rest of his teammates alive now. Tier 3 starts to fall. Miracle jumps in with the Astral. They need something big here. They do have the rest of the odds. They don't have Poison Nova. But their presence at the least will force Planet Odd back. Not looking to throw this one away, playing it safe, knowing they have a comfortable lead.
Yeah, getting now. They also finished up that top range rack, so big chunk of gold going for everybody. Liquid's looking to just be in so much trouble from all the synergy coming out from Planet Odd's actual team lineup. Just there's so much that they can really do. They can start off with a Winter Curse and follow up with a Coil, and then follow up with the Echo Slam, etc. It just seems a lot more easier to execute for them than Liquid. Liquid needs everything to go perfect in these fights for them to actually be able to do anything. 20,000 gold lead will do that though.
I think Matuma, Resolution as well pretty much has that Abyssal Blade complete.
Yep. Is it actually being delivered right now? It is being delivered, the full Abyssal.
36 minutes in, 27,000 net worth. I feel like I'll be surprised if we see the anti-mage get through again in this finals. As Resolution, we know that he can do this. If they find the right game to pick it and slip it through the draft, he goes absolutely ham. Hasn't died a single time. They're just so good as a team with utilizing the Resolution anti-mage.
So good at making the space for him, yeah, and just identifying what they need to do, like what his goal in the game is. Like, Veno comes bottom, you go top. You never want to fight Rezo. That is you. You don't fight until you've got your Manta, you've got your Battle Fury +1.
And Miracle needs that X. He's still about 2k gold away. Matuma Man off the back of that buyback, still pretty far from any sort of major item. Has the Crystallis, looking for the Bloodthorn, but it's still a long way away. Liquid have got to continue to hold somehow, and already top lane, Resolution just jumps in aggressively, looks for Kuro. There will be a defensive Astral, buying some time for the Shaman. Blinking from GH, gets the crush onto Saxa, but Saxa gets the Cold Embrace out in time. They do have the Shackle though, onto the anti-mage, but the BKB comes out. He's able to blink himself away. Winter's Curse again, holds back the side of Liquid. They do kill Saxa. And Saxa's play, making sure the rest of Planet Odd can get themselves out of there. Meanwhile, down bottom, we are looking for a bit of a split push pressure, bringing the melee racks down low. Liquid will push him back just in time. Misery thinking about going back in, does have the blink and the echo ready. If he sees a chance, it looks like they'll disengage. With 1 man down, Odd again opting to play it safe.
They're pretty close to bringing down Rezo there. If Kuro had more levels, if he wasn't so underleveled, he would have actually been able to get him down if he had the max shackles, but being only level 13, and that's the point of the game, that'll happen. Just because of how dominant Planet Odd has been in this one. Poor KuroKy.
Yeah, KuroKy just looking for a BKB next, knowing that whatever happens, he needs to be able to hold Rezo in place.
Yeah, he is the big form of lockdown. GH isn't able to really get good crushes off in this game because of how much little poke and prod that Planet Odd has.
Miracle's coming out pretty far here. There's the jump in. They'll pop the Lincolns, find the follow-up lasso. Miracle dragged back into the clutches of Rezo. OD down.
So close to the Hex as well. And now he's going to be forced to buy back. They don't have any way of defending without him.
They really don't. They need that OD. He is their major damage output at this stage of the game. 22,000 net worth lead for Planet Odd.
Waiting for the other side lanes to push in before they make their way onto that high ground. Here we go, top starting to push in, and now Rezo makes his way up.
Gale not going to connect there from Matumba. Rezo waltzes in, waltzes out, back in he goes. Saxa coming in from the tree line, looking to utilize the stomp from Mike to hold Rezo back, but it won't connect, and Rezo cleans up the melee racks, jumps across onto GH, who just gets absolutely splattered there by the side. Two buybacks coming out from Liquid. They're trying to turn. Defensive Astral, they're keeping Kuro alive. Miracle moving forward, but Resolution with the BKB can't be held in place. He'll get himself out. And Liquid, they're slowly losing more and more. The net worth lead continues for Planet Odd as these buybacks get forced out.
Double buyback, and they claim the racks. Starting to look pretty damn impossible for Liquid to come back in this one.
One racks left to go for Planet Odd. And of course, I mean, if they do get those megas, Liquid's lineup is just not a lineup that can deal with mega creeps at all.
No, they don't have great ways of pushing lanes out whatsoever. Like Veno Wards can't handle that at that point. Shadow Shaman Nuke doesn't do anything. OD doesn't have great ways to push lanes out like that. And yeah, it'll definitely be impossible for them. Their wave clear is quite minimal.
Illusion.
Odd continuing to force all the lanes in. Probably gonna go for that next Roche before they clean out the game, since it is spawned up. I think Rezo is finishing up another item. Oh, full Eye of Scotty, okay. Just the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, 40 minutes in,
Great.
the farm just doesn't stop.
Great pickup, getting that stats versus OD is always very important, so you don't get chunked down by that.
What does he swap out for it? I mean, there's going to be an Aegis that he potentially wants to be holding as well. And he's going to put the treads in his backpack.
And the BKB, so when he respawns, he can swap both in.
Okay. And indeed, no way that Liquid can even think about coming out for this one. And absolutely free Roshan for Planet Odd. And there we have it once again, Rezo with the Aegis. We'll pass over the cheese to Moon. And they are ready to go. Try and look for the finishing blow down the middle lane. What can Liquid do to stop it? If anything, Misery, Shadow bladed up. They're ready for the jump. So many ways that Odd can start a fight. Resolution just blinks up straight away, hammering into the tier 3. I mean, look at it drop. Liquid unable to do much at all though. We'll throw down the stomp. Resolution blinking back.
Bottom barracks are under attack.
GH has like no opportunities to really make an initiation. He wants to go in, but he's like, if I blink and I crush, I'm just gonna get lassoed, or someone else is gonna get lassoed. And then
Ooh,
coil
Miracle.
off the mark with the coil.
Forces out just in time before the coil can have a chance to connect. There's the jump in. The Fisher, Miracle still playing very boldly as he moves in and starts to rack up the intel. There's the jump forward with the silence from Wii.
Any type of harassment hits right now for Miracle are absolutely crucial since he's got level 25, that plus Arcane Orb Steel. If he's able to actually just poke and poke until he has enough int, they may actually be able to take a fight with that if he has an enormous amount. It's still extremely difficult / near impossible.
There's the jump in actually from Rezo, goes immediately onto Matuma. Matuma in trouble. There's the Hex from Kuro, holding back. Miracle on the outer edge there with Resolution getting nuked down. Miracle as well, chasing forward to get the BKB off before the lasso. Goes for Moon. Moon swallows the cheese. Miracle starting to rack up the intel. The Glimmer Cape from Saxa keeping Moon alive. Will end up finishing off the kill onto Kuro. Kuro, the only one to fall as of yet. They did pop the Aegis on Rezo's anti-mage. Miracle, he's got a fair bit of intel stacked up, 60 at the moment, has got the Sanity's clips available. The Yules will be there. Resolution looking to move in with the bashes. Miracle falling low, but he gets the Astral out onto the main AM, but there's the burst. Weehard jumps in, that's going to be Miracle down. He does not have buyback available. The rest of Liquid trying to retreat, but Planet Odd, they're moving in. They're surrounding Matuma, man. That's going to be a fourth down as GG is called, and Planet Odd take the second game as well. 2-0.